That the chat is all sorted.
It is live. It is live.
What the fuck is that?
You know how it's the Frankenstein thing? It's alive. It's alive.
I bet. What was that?
That was me doing the It is live.
You're a fucking queer hawk.
Space Invaders. Space Invaders. Space Invaders.
How many times did you see it?
1,000 Space Invaders.
Right. We'll just check.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. It is live. It's alive.
And let's see if that pops up.
It's alive on YouTube.
It is alive on YouTube. I just need to make sure my wee chat box is working properly.
Chat this. Start recording. Do that too. It's alive.
You bastard. I just lost your heat there for a wee second. Let's put you back on. No, that's me again.
That's
Where did your heat go? Where did your heat go? There we go, that's your heat. Let's put you back in. Let's put you back in line. There we go.
Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum.
Do 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 do.
Space Invaders. It's live.
You don't need to keep saying it. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yep, yep. Dun, dun, dun. I love this part of the podcast where it's obviously live and it's like you just playing around with the thing and me and Miguel you just sitting on our phone normally. However, it's just me that's sitting on my phone today.
I pretty much have just fucking dropped my phone in the flare. Handy. Oh, here, I did that with my work phone a week ago and I fucking smashed the bastard.
Yeah, that's handy to admit on the old live podcast there.
Oh, so I got it fixed.
Alright.
I had to get it fixed. I was like, shit.
That's the thing with work phones, I suppose. Need to be able to be contacted.
Right. Try again.
It's alive.
There we go. Chat is working. Awesome.
Sweet, sweet.
Space Invaders. Okay.
Hashtag Space Invaders. Hashtag House Rice. Hashtag Uncle Ben's.
You got the L recording on I trust
Recording is live.
Of course you have. Of course you have. What a silly question. Beer Fridge Podcast, episode 45. Good evening, everyone. Gavin Baxter, as always, alongside Mark Dixon. This evening, we're going to go through, obviously, our beers, what we're drinking, beers of the week. Give it a little snippet of the Edinburgh Craft Beer Festival. We're going to look at some Pitch Invaders, or we're calling Space Invaders today. Some little things we've seen, and is this the beer life, or is this just fantasy? Is all in our jam-packed show this evening. Let's get it started. Mark Dixon, good evening. How you doing?
Good, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. And as always, the Beer Fridge Podcast brought to you by the Beer Fridge Network, beerfridgenetwork.com. And we're also in partnership with beermenow.co.uk. Head over to those boys, the ultimate beer subscription service, and at the checkout, enter the code, BFN for 50% off your first box for new customers during March. You can pick from a monthly, bi-monthly or a quarterly beer subscription service. Just whack in your comments at the checkout, tell them what you like, what you don't like, and the boys will hand pick a selection of beers for you and get them delivered straight to you ASAP. And I must admit, I've thoroughly enjoyed my Beer Menow box. Unfortunately, it's gone and I have to wait until the next one. I could buy another one, but I'm going to sit in my hands and just wait. But yes, beermenow.co.uk, use code BFN for 50% off your first box this month. Right then, niceties out of the way. Let's get cracking. What are you drinking, sir?
I have a Beer Me Now bottle from my first box. It's a Station 119 IPA. As you can tell, not even opened, haven't even tasted. So,
What snack did you get?
I got the exact same snack as you. The black
Tortillas.
pepper cortinas. That's the ones.
They're actually. Have you tried them yet?
I haven't. No. I've been out pretty much all weekend, which is handy for the podcast with beers of the week. However, not handy. Not trying the Beer Me Now stuff. So,
perfect time to try it. Perfect time to try it right now. But no, those tortilla chips, I really like them actually. First thing I've liked from a beer subscription box I've had before, and that's not just saying it because we've been working with them. It's just genuine
sponsors. That's it.
Aye, because I really hate everything I had before. How's that?
I quite like it. I know you were giving me a wee bit of beforehand that you weren't too convinced.
I wasn't too sure.
Let's be honest, you're not the biggest of IPA fans, to be fair, whereas I am. So, no, this is it's quite refreshing actually. I'm just reading the back here. A burst of combination of citrus and pine resin flavours. I'm not sure if I get. Yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm getting that. I'm getting a bit of citrus, so I'll take it.
Fair play. Well, this evening I've got my one of my usuals, Can of Foster's, as backup because I do have a selection of other stubbies I picked up this afternoon in Asda. I went on a mission to see what the strongest stubby alcohol level I could find, and I've came away with 4 cans. It was 4 for £6, which is alright. Okay, it's not too bad. And I've walked away with the Flying Dog brewery, and it's the Snake Dog IPA, that one right there, and it is and I lost it earlier on and then I found it. It's a 7.1% alcohol level on that bad boy.
We stopped it.
I might not. I'm not gonna lie. I might not drink all these because the last podcast when I turned through my Beer Me Now box, I was half gassed. Not gonna lie.
We need you to be semi-professional during the podcast. Semi-professional.
Stone IPA, 6.9% number. Can feel on all these, by the way. Regular can feel. Regular can feel. Nothing special.
You know what? Can I just shout that out? That I love that's become a thing of the podcast. Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
100% a thing.
I'm honestly going to send the guys at Beer Me Now a little email, I think, and just be like, next box, can feel is important to us, and the podcast will be looking at can feel for sure.
You know what it should do? It should go through like generic beers like Foster's, etc., and find out one has the best can feel. Anyway, that's for another thing. I also got Brooklyn East IPA, which is a 6.9. Never tried it before.
Choice.
Normal can feel, nice can looking though. Not that I'm going to add anything, but can feel is priority. Another one from this. I think this is it Stone Brewery? Yes, Stone Brewery. Brewed in Berlin. Another one I got of theirs is the Go To IPA. The name doesn't really make sense. It should obviously be Go To Hell with the little demon there. That one's not as strong. That's the lowest percentage of the 4 I've got. That's 4.7. So throughout the broadcast, I'll get them open and we will give them a wee whirl. If you're in and around the Edinburgh area on the end of May, Edinburgh Craft Beer Festival, 24th and 25th of May. Tickets are still available for that. They are £45. That includes your entry, and you get a maximum of 6 pints of beer free on that cost, and that cost of £45. That's festival pours, so like kind of 3/4 pints, half pints. I don't know if after those 6 you can just go around yourself and just get what you want. I only presume that you can. You also get a free glass as well. So that's the Edinburgh Craft Beer Festival, the 24th and 25th of May. Head to edinburghcraftbeerfestival.co.uk for more information and to get your tickets. Also, the reason I mention it is because it's potentially something that I might come up for.
Ooh, interesting.
Hence why I'm mentioning it. Seeing as
it does look pretty good, to be honest. I had a quick, after you sent the link through, I had a quick squint at who was going to be involved in the breweries, etc. And looks alright. So it could be fun. Plus, down that way, Leith, there'll be plenty of good places for beers and eats and all that kind of stuff.
I think that I was reading a post they did, and there was talking. I think it was the Guardian actually. I read it online, and they was talking about their match.
You read newspapers?
I wasn't reading the newspaper. I just typed in Beer UK and it fucking popped up. I don't read newspapers. Fuck off. And it was mentioned that at the Edinburgh Craft Beer Festival they've got a focus on the food as much as the beer to kind of marry the two up together, so that
okay.
I don't know. But anyway, let's try this. Brooklyn East IPA, 6.9%. What does it say in it? I don't care.
Oh, I'm a big fan of the Brooklyn stuff, to be fair. So as you're halfway down there, but
that's alright. Sharp piney aromas meet a stone fruit and herbal bitterness to create a sublimely satisfying beer. Fair play. Can I grumble much?
That says both got a piney number. It's obviously a trend going on.
A thing.
It's a thing, indeed.
It's a thing. Like can feel's a thing. 100%.
100% can feel. Yeah.
Need to even. You see what? Wait, the next level I can feel is like having like wee grooves for your fingers and shit, and like a proper grip. Should get like don't like rubber. No rubber. Maybe no rubber. You got rubber? Nah. I don't know.
It's quite interesting. There's, you get like the different cut glasses that you can sort of sit your hand sort of into. Well, like if you got a couple of to be honest with you, there probably is.
But you always have. So obviously I got the wee glass I got from Beer Me Now, .co.uk. Plug. And obviously you're meant to use those glasses to get like the aroma and like properly see and like get a feel for the beer itself. So surely like if you should be drinking a IPA in such and such a glass or a stout in such and such a glass, surely they should make the bottles and the cans in such and such a way.
I know. Realistically, you should be pouring the beer to get it out of the vessel as such.
Ooh, the vessel.
Indeed. Yeah, we know. I was going to say we at least know roughly what we're talking about occasionally.
You're not going to vessel link. Tom Hessling. Let's go on to subject of the weekends. If you've been watching football, definitely. And that is the copious amounts of arseholes, Space Invaders, who have been invading the pitch and acting like cocks. There was 3. I mean, there's been a couple of incidences across other major sports as well. There was an incident on NBA. There's been incidents in something else I can't remember off the top of my head. And then obviously the 3 incidences at the weekend. Aston Villa game, Aston Villa Birmingham. Jack Grealish gets a hook from behind, a sucker punch. James Tavernier Rangers Hibs supporter jumps the fence and tries to have a square go with Tavernier, and then the Man United Arsenal game, Arsenal fan comes on and shoves Chris Smalling. For me, in all 3 of these incidences, and the one I was mentioning, the NBA as well, there was an instance where a fan got into an altercation, or more of a kind of chatting, shouting match with a player. All these instances, they quite easily, the fan or the person who's got on the pitch, as much as Chris Smalling just got pushed, and Tavernier, fair enough, there was no physical contact, these guys can quite easily have a knife on them or some small blade, not even that, a pencil, a pen, and it's getting a bit of a joke to the point where, and if you've been to a football game, the stewards are just teenagers or folk that are getting. They're not trained security. They're just trained bodies to be visually in a fucking high vis and just be a deterrent visually when they ain't going to do shit. And you've seen that there's half of them are skinnier than me, and I'm pretty fucking skinny. Well, I say that at the moment. I'm 13.5 stone wet. Mate, it's going up. It just keeps going up. I'm going up. Am I? No, I'm not. 12.5. 12.5. I'm 12.5. That's a lie. 12.5 stone. It's getting a bit of a joke. Something needs to be done. We need the amount of money that's in the Premier League. There has to be some proper security, surely.
I totally agree with you on all fronts. I think it's a bit of a joke, to be honest with you, that the money that goes involved. And I know there's a police presence at some of these games, but I know, like we've spoken in the past about how teams and that can't afford, to have the additional police to, man games, and at the end of the day, for me, it boils down to the fact that there shouldn't be a need for police in that of the games. We were in Edinburgh on Saturday, and the Scotland Wales game was obviously on at Murrayfield, the rugby, and the place was absolutely buzzing. And for me, like the difference with, and I know it's a totally different sport, and it's a different culture, which I think is the important aspect there.
Definitely.
But there was just no animosity. There was banter. Don't get me wrong. The Welsh wanted to win.
With the rugby, the fans are all mixed in with each other.
Bingo. Yeah, I was going to get that point, but it's ridiculous. And players being assaulted on a park, when they're out performing, they're out there for entertainment purposes.
Yep.
It's a bit ridiculous. Can you imagine, we've seen people running on concerts before and try to get pictures, all that kind of stuff, and there's no holds barred. I know what we mentioned before the podcast, that the chap that punched Jack Grealish is getting charged, and he's going to either have a jail sentence or have to plea out of it or whatever.
I think he got 6 months or something like that. The bit that made me laugh about what he got was he's been ordered to pay Jack Grealish £100.
Oh my god!
And you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure he's not short of cash.
I'm sure the £100 will get. I'm sure that payment will get made, and Jack Grealish will receive that payment. Let's be honest, that's a bit of a ridiculous, but
brilliant.
See, I don't know. I totally agree. I think something needs to be done. I think, to be honest with you, if it continues, and this is obviously came right off the top of my head here, but how the Bundesliga and that used to do it, and our Italian fans used to do it, that stadiums would be built with netting, cages and all that kind of stuff up, which one restricts view. It kind of gives you, it is literally putting you in what looks like a caged environment, which isn't very pleasant, let's be honest. And like I mentioned there, the whole point is that you're going to these games to be entertained, and I appreciate that fans are passionate, put it that way, but at the same time, the thing is, if someone gets hurt with this, it's going to open up a huge can of worms for everybody involved, and like you say,
there's hundreds of thousands, millions of quid on the pitch, and you would have thought that these people that own the Premier League clubs want to keep their investment safe. Now, sure. I know everyone's like, I know someone, after hearing about the sentence on Facebook, started having a dig, saying that why should, if someone assaults somebody in the street in general, they usually just get a slap in the wrist. If they just get pushed or a punch in the back of the head. But then why are these football players held to a higher order, so to speak?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the reason being is because they're worth hundreds and hundreds, thousands of or millions of quid, and people have paid millions and millions of quid for them to play football for their team. So surely, if you're an owner of a football team, you're going to want actual security, not some fucking fuckwit who's just past puberty and is doing a fucking PhD in arse wiping. Maybe not arse wiping. PhD in something else, I don't know.
It doesn't matter what they're doing. In all honesty, if you've got people wanting to get on the pitch and it's like some teenager that it's not, like, at the end of the day that's an issue. But like, going back to your point there, that holding up to the higher standard and all the rest of it, like, why is he getting made an example of? The reason he's getting made an example of is that if they don't, I think they were a wee bit lenient on him, to be honest with you. If I was convicting the chap who ran on to a nationally, it wasn't it probably would have been televised somewhere, but a game, and run on and punch a professional player, then I would have given him years, like, on it. You've got to make an example out of people that if this becomes a trend, then people are like, well, if I'm going to have to pay him £100, I wouldn't mind running on the park and getting him a punch.
Exactly. There has to be a very strong deterrent. You can't have the deterrent can't be you've got a lifetime ban from the stadium, because that individual who goes with that intention or has that idea in their head, that could be their first game, and that could be the only game they intend to go and watch. Exactly. So a lifetime ban does jack shit, because literally they go, I'm only here for one thing, that at the 60th minute I'm going to run on the pitch when he turns his back, when he's taking a throw in, and bottle him where the heat.
I totally agree with that part. Like, the only people that are going to get, the only people that get hurt by this sort of thing are actually the true fans, the people that love Aston Villa and love Birmingham and whoever the other team.
I mean, that obviously it's a rivalry game, and I get like tensions and stuff are high between fans and whatnot, but like, seriously, like, even like I don't even think I've seen anything like that with Rangers Celtic games. I've seen where, like, obviously fans are like throwing stuff over each other. I've seen all that, and to be honest, I've seen obviously when folk are throwing coins and stuff, which is bad, which is kind of calmed down a wee bit. I know there was one game, and I think it might be in the last Rangers Celtic game, where stuff was getting thrown, which is a joke as well.
There's no excuse for any of that. I'm sorry.
Entertainment. It's the entertainment. It's no life or death. Jesus.
And the thing about it, for me, like, it is entertainment, and I appreciate, like, fans are passionate, and I would love to hear from anybody that is big fans. And like, we've all got rivalry, you know, you want to beat the other team, like, and it's a passion thing. I totally understand it. However, you can't. It's like going back, and it's like that film, The Purge. You know what I mean? We'll switch everything off for the day and you just go and do what you want. It's like Grand Theft Auto stuff, just running. You know, go a bit bonkers. Like, at the end of the day, you know, and like, without getting too heavy about it, I suppose, like, in society you've got rules and laws to live by, and just because you're at a football match doesn't mean that these things, kind of, the rules get bent. And I think over the course, like the SFA, the FA, just FIFA in general, you know, because when you were talking about the coins and that, remember, like, the Real Madrid Barcelona games back in the day, they were throwing pig's heads at Figo when he was taking corners. It's ridiculous. But as I was saying, I think this is, without going like too heavy into it, it's just something that needs to be kicked out. You know, we're playing without, I'm going to say this, but like, it's a gentleman's game, right? But it's getting watched and played like a bunch of hooligans are at a game. And I'm not saying every fan's like that, but, you know, if you're throwing and chanting and stuff, it's something that needs to be kicked out.
It has to be nipped in the bud as soon as possible, because the one thing I worry about, and I worry about it this, especially this weekend coming with the fixtures coming up, is copycats. So we've had 3 incidents that weekend, that have all been flagged up, and I would not be surprised if this weekend you get, maybe not to the Jack Grealish standard where he gets punched in the back of the head, maybe more to the kind of the Tavernier smaller one, where obviously Tavernier, a Hibs fan, came on the pitch and Tavernier was a bit to get thrown in. Ball boy was a bit to pass the ball, and then the Hibs fan comes on the pitch and he shoves Tavernier, and then luckily a steward managed to grab him, and then they were having a wee square goal. Smalling incident, I know the fan came on again, pushed him. I would not be surprised if you had that this weekend, somebody running on and pushing somebody. Would not surprise me. The problem for clubs is obviously they pay a lot of money for the policing, so why not? You don't like, you can, I'm not going to, no, in fact you can't cut back in policing. You have to just get a better security around the field. You have to get proper security. You have to get, like, you wouldn't go to a nightclub and expect to see a 5'5", 9 stone wee laddie sitting outside the nightclub. You expect to see at least a minimum a 6'2" guy who's his job is to be a security guard, so he's put effort into it. He goes to the gym and stuff. He looks like he could at least drag you out if he has to. That's what you expect to see. You would never expect to see, like I said, 5'5" little midget at a nightclub, and that's the standard we have to hold the football to at the same time.
No, totally. For me, I think you need to take it like as far as possible. If people are running on the park, you need obviously like provisions put in place to prevent. You know, if it's bounce, like security, if it's policing, if it's barriers to make it harder, you know, to get on, so you can't just jump one fence sort of thing and then you're on the park. If you're having to put stuff in to give security as much opportunity to stop them, or her for that matter, before they get on.
That's true, yeah.
But for me, it comes down to if people do anything, like, think about we've got VAR, we've got all this instant replay for, is it offside, is it not offside? The crowd surely is getting investigated or inspected during the course of the game. If people are throwing stuff, take pictures of them and get it sent to police. And I know police will be like, oh, we can't do that for however, like, there must be 300 of football games in England alone on a Saturday. But for me, if you're getting, we've caught you on camera throwing bottle, coin at a game, there it is, fine, 1,500 quid fine. Alright, well, I'm not going to do that again, am I? Or if you are caught on the park, it's minimum of a year or whatever it is that they're going to get action. I think they need to go.
They should do it like trespassing rules and stuff. I know it's
what is?
Trespassing in certain areas, you can get whacked in jail and whatnot, depending on obviously what it is.
I'm not trying to take away the fun. It sounds really harsh.
No, but
like,
the thing is, but we're not though. But because all it happens, if it keeps up, like you said, all they're going to do is go the way of like Eastern European clubs, yeah, and the clubs in the continent where they're putting fences up, they're putting big barriers up, or the stadiums are being built where when the seating stops, there's a massive drop, and then there's the actual like rest of the obviously park and stuff. So that folk can't jump over, because you just got to you fall about 10-15 feet. I think there's actually there's a couple of videos of guys scoring goals, celebrating and jumping over and not and they go poof and they're, oh shit.
That's fun. But that, I think you're right, and like, to be honest with you, that's like I say, is if it continues, that's the kind of stuff people are going to have to look at, and like clubs with the money and the Premiership, but even like, it doesn't matter, Premiership, Championship, clubs make a lot of money, and I understand there is some clubs that are going to struggle with stuff, but it's going to turn the netting and changing the stadiums, etc.
It has to start at the top. It has to start at the Premier League and work its way down. Maybe not obviously with netting and stuff all the way down, but that the turn of, like you said, jail time, etc. Because I was at a local amateur game 2 weeks ago. Like, if I'm a nut job, if I've got a knife in me, I could easily just jump in the park and go whack whack whack.
You've been playing too much Grand Theft Auto, mate.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's easy enough done. So that the turn has to start for the top and work its way down.
Yeah.
It's a joke, and I would quite happily put £10 on something happening this weekend.
It's a sad state of affairs when that's probably the case, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Like you say, police and security and things will be kind of ramped up maybe this week, so hopefully they'll kind of nip it in the bud. Hopefully, but
I mean, it's taking away for the football, because here's us talking about they nut jobs, we're not talking about football.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It was by all accounts, I didn't watch the Aston Villa game, but I got told, and when it was quite a good game of football for a proper derby, like. But anyways.
Anywho, let's get off that.
Back on the beer.
A brewery.
Just on this, just while you're thinking, I'm really enjoying this Station 119 IPA.
Where did you get it from, Mark?
Incidentally. I actually got it from this box that was delivered to my house by this really cool company called Beer Me Now.
Oh.
Indeed.
And how do I get Beer Me Now?
If you go to beermenow.co.uk, you're able to subscribe, and they'll send you a box on a monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly basis.
And is there a code by any chance that I can use to get 50% off?
Actually, there is. If you type in BFN, which is Beer Fridge Network.
Oh, I did wonder what BFN meant. Ooh.
Yeah, $12.50 first box. Honestly, really tasty stuff. So,
aye, definitely. A brewery. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Totally jumping in again. But you know what I quite like about this is I'm looking at it. The head brewer has signed each bottle on here.
Yes, I did notice that, and they're actual hand signatures.
Signatures. I just had a wee script. Marc spelt with a C, might add. So hence the reason it's
only top-notch stuff.
No, it's proper spelling. So yeah.
No, I did notice that. That was something I did pick up for that. Something I stumbled across on Twitter just before we started is a Chevet Brewery, which is in Northumberland in England. Which are doing this a kind of scheme it would be very we would be used to it if you're living in Scotland. If you bought glass bottles of Iron Brew, your local would, if you took them back, if you took the empties back, hand them into your local corner shop, you would get 20p. So Chevet Brewery have are doing a scheme where Cash for Empties, they've calling it. They've got 3 participating stores in the Northumberland area, where if you take back your empties, you get 10p back. Surely this is a microbrewery. Surely our maybe not our big breweries, but the kind of smaller one, the kind of below, like your Budweisers and all that stuff, all your kind of big stuff at the back, because that would cost them a lot of money. But the ever so slightly smaller ones, it would be an incentive for them to do that, because then folk would be like, I get 10p back, I get 20p back if I drink 4 bottles of that, and that goes towards my next set. I think that's a fantastic idea, and
it's quite cool.
Everybody should be doing it.
Considering the sort of restrictions and things that are getting placed on companies now for recycling purposes. I know that from what the missus does for a living, put it that way.
That's true.
But no, I think it's a really, again, I think it's a really cool idea. If it's not a lot of money, like 10p, and people are quite bothered. But
Aye.
At the same time, you're getting something back. Especially if it's you think about how many bottles of like Caesar Augustus, the Williams brewery stuff, like how many beers that I must buy a year. That's like my go-to standard hybrid lager IPA that you get relatively cheap now and again, and that's the go-to.
If you got 10p, 20p a bottle, and you so many bottles, you would just save them up to the point where you had enough money, and you go back in and you get all your money for it, and you get a free bottle.
Well, that's it. Exactly, and you got to recycle the glass bottles for the most part now. Anyway, that you've got to find. You can't put them in your bins and things. So I think it's a quality idea, and I think it's something that people will end up either having to implement, or it'll be incentivized for the company to implement. So no, I think it's a cracking idea.
If you want to see more of Chivot Brewing, chivotbrewery.co.uk, like I said, they're based in Northumberland. Yes, fully backing that idea. Fantastic idea. We've not mentioned our beers of the week yet, incidentally. Ooh. And I'll let you go first, big man, because I've got half a page of a A5 paper written down for my one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I was in Edinburgh, as I said, on I'm just pulling up my Untapped app. I was in Edinburgh.
Where can you find Beer Fridge podcast on Untapped app?
By searching Beer Fridge podcast on the Untapped app.
It's getting quite cheesy, isn't it?
Ridiculous. And obviously, as you know, Edinburgh is pretty good for craft beer and things. So I ended up in one of my favourite sort of bars, which is 6 Degrees North.
Oh yes.
It's the first time I've ever been in the Edinburgh one. I usually stop in the Aberdeen when I'm up doing work, but we nicked in there for a couple of beers, and to be honest with you, even Lynn's, when she came in, was saying, give me a beer, I'll try one, because if you've ever been in a 6 Degrees North bar, there's 20, 30 taps.
Yeah.
And everything from IPA, stout, you name it. So I went and got a standard brew IPA. It was one that we tried at the festival last year that won. So I had that one, which is my beer of the week. But I managed to get Lynn's this sort of golden honey ale, which was called Bombina. Or Bombine, which was a 6 Degrees North sort of original. It was a 6%, and it was actually like it was really, really nice. And Lynn's actually really liked it too, which is even better when you can find the missus a beer that she likes in an awesome pub. So that one got a high shout, but the one which is going to shock you, Gav, here, that we had, and I've just clicked off it, for round two in the in 6 Degrees North. We got a sour.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cad 10 itself for a second. Oh, Christ.
Don't be silly. So the sour was a Hedgerow Sour, and it was by Stuart Brewery. Now,
it's funny you said that, because you've mentioned Stuart Brewery for the last fucking 2 weeks.
Indeed.
Oh, there it is. That's quite
smart. That's quite smart. So this.
Oh, incidentally, can I pause you for a second there? Is that your Beer Me Now pen?
It's the Beer Me Now pen, yes. Wow. Yeah, I'm all about the free pens, me, definitely. But the sour was right delicious, and that's what Lindsay ended up drinking.
Fair enough.
To be honest with you, so that was our go-to. So I think, like I said before, if you're able to find a Cecil drink, while you're able to sample a multitude of different ones in a funky bar, I think it's definitely a win and should be shouted out. So thank you to 6 Degrees North and Stuart Brewing
for chicken dinner.
Indeed.
My beer of the week is called Limoncello by Ora Brewing Company.
Limoncello.
So limoncello is an Italian liqueur mainly produced in the southern Italy, especially in the region of the Gulf of Naples. No. Limoncello is the Italian. It's an Italian liqueur, which is produced in southern Italy, especially over the region around the Gulf of Naples. And Ora, the brewing company, have made this. I've created a limoncello IPA as part of their special series of beers exploring the sensory connections between brewing and gastronomic traditions.
Okay.
Big words that are struggling with a 6.9 and a. Anyway. So the limoncello IPA from Ora has a velvety creamy mouthfeel, very lemon in colour. I'm getting good at here. I sound like I'm not talking about now, didn't I? And as you could imagine, a very lemony taste. For me, it just tasted like lemonade, and you couldn't taste any alcohol. It was a 5.5. It's fucking awesome. I honestly, it was very, very refreshing. Like I say, the kind of velvety, like light mouthfeel, would definitely 100% have it again. And for obviously with it being lemon, it's slightly soury, but it wasn't. It wasn't like very. It wasn't too much. It literally felt like I was drinking lemonade.
Quality. Where did you get it?
I got it from a beer box. Which
beer box?
The other one.
Oh,
the other one which I forgot to unsubscribe to.
Yeah, I typed in limoncello beer while you were talking about that there, and a few have came up.
Yes.
So there's one on here that is a 9.1% IPA.
Oh no! This was only 5.5. And it actually said to drink it at 8%, 8 degrees. And mine was colder. Mine was right cold, at the right correct temperature, of course. So probably, if I'm being honest, because it was really cold, I probably preferred it more. If it was 8 degrees, I've got a funny feeling I might have not liked it.
It's just fair enough. You've got to drink the beer how you like to drink it. So.
Because obviously you taste more of it and whatnot. But however, like I said, a limoncello IPA from Ora, which I got from Beer52. Well, I forgot to unsubscribe, and I got 10 beers, so yeah, delivered to my door. You can't grumble with beers being delivered to your door at the end of the day.
No, you cannot. You definitely cannot. So,
but if you're looking for the ultimate beer subscription service, head to beermenow.co.uk and use BFN at the checkout for 50% off.
Absolute roaster.
Yeah, I'm a sucker.
No, fair play. Right, I'm going to ask you, go back to the pub thing, and obviously the weekend we're in 6 Degrees North. Goodness, that's terrible. I was honestly so impressed with the variety of beer that they had. Now, obviously, it's not a standard sort of like generic Wetherspoons bar where you're getting whatever. This is, it is a craft beer sort of establishment for sure. Do you think that it makes you? Are you one of these people that jump on that? I'm in a place where you're selling, you're buying your beer in 2/3 and things because of maybe the strength, etc. That you should try beers that you've never tried, take a stab at the menu, or are you play it safe because I know I like it kind of guy?
No. So these 2/3 fucking hate it. I want a pint. I want a full pint. So if it's not available in a pint, I ain't having it.
Okay.
I will, however, only because we started doing this podcast. Because normally I'll go in and we you'll know yourself, because we did a trip around Europe, myself and somebody who's never been back on this podcast, who's
right.
So we did a wee jobby around Europe, and my concern was, and it was an actual concern, was there wasn't going to be any beer that I'll drink or like. And every time we went in somewhere, I'm like, oh no, what can I have? And it was always Heineken or what was it? Not Tuborg. Oh, what was it? One with the big bull.
Yeah, was it Dupla?
Dupla, that's the one. Dupla, loved that.
That was just generic Pilsner, though, wasn't it?
But it was the thing that I was into, and it was basically nothing too scary, nothing too tasteful. However, nowadays, if I'm going into somewhere, if it's got like Hop House 13, or if they've got a generic IPA on pump and you can get a pint of it, I will try it. I will have one, and then if I don't like it, I'm like, binned. Next.
Which is, look, at the end of the day, for me, that's what it's all about. Now, the reason I brought this up is that, does that make you beer snob?
I wouldn't think so, mate. I drink Foster's, for fuck's sake.
Look, I know I'm speaking to Mr. like
I drink
Zero
Foster's,
Snob,
and if I'm in Scotland, I drink Tennent's. I can't. If I could drink Tennent's down in England, I would, but it just doesn't have it.
Ridiculous. But anyway, that was one thing. I had a conversation with a chap on the old Twitter, and I've had a couple, to be honest with you, through, but one of them was based around this beer snobbery sort of thing, and it's when you start getting involved in the mouth feel and the flavour and that, it makes you a beer snob. And my point to him was that the only reason that you learn about that kind of stuff is when you kind of open your mind and your thought to trying different things, because when you start experimenting with IPA, stouts, porter, whatever it is, that they all taste and feel different, and they've all, like we mentioned this about the different flavours, and I know we're going to touch on that, but which is maybe a good segue in, but the different flavours of beers now is so wide that the only way that you're going to know is try. So that was me. And I said on another conversation was that I would rather spend money trying beers that to find a sort of hidden gem.
But this is where I think having a beer subscription, and I'm not just saying this because obviously beer out, having access to beer subscription services is a way to find something you might not try before. Sure. Like if I go in somewhere now and I see the limoncello aura, I'm going to get it. Whereas if I see it before, I'm going to, I'm not a person, you know yourself, I'm not a person who likes anything fruity or anything too soury. So if I seen that before, I'm like, not a chance. There's no way I'm trying that. But now if I see it, I'm like, yes, give me that. Don't get me wrong, it's not a beer that you would have a session with. It's maybe when you'd have one or two and then you would switch to something else, but I'll 100% try it. Beer snobbery for me is when you get your beer snob wanker who, it's like, how long should a can of beer last you? 15-20 minutes at most, maybe. Anything above that, when you're going proper getting it, proper sniffing it, proper getting your beak right in there and tasting every little fucking fibre in it, that's when you're taking it a wee bit too far. And then when you, like you said last week, your man for your Da Sales Avon, when you start going, oh, I've tried this and this is blah blah, piss off. Like, out of me, you, and Miguel, who's also on the podcast, Miguel's probably the one who's got the most varied palate, because he'll drink stouts.
Oh, well, you say that, but I'm getting there. But yeah, I'll jump on that. I'll take it.
Like he will drink stout and he will drink darker beer. So out of the three of us, he's probably the more beer snobbery out of the three of us. However, he'll drink a beer 15-20 minutes, but he won't go, oh, I've tried this and this is the best thing since iced tea. No.
Miguel, if you're listening, that is definitely you. Total beer snob wanker.
To be fair, if it's below 3%, he's like, no touching it, it's water.
No touching it.
That's just wanting beer for the
Coonsole juice.
Exactly. So no, like, I will try stuff. Like I was in the pub a few weeks ago, and Green Brewery, I can't remember. I had a East IPA, I think it was, from Green King.
Green King, that's one.
Green King, aye, and I had one of it. That's right.
Really?
I was like, get that out. And then she came in, she's like, do you want another one, son? I was like, nah, it's alright. Foster's, please.
No thanks.
Foster's all day. But aye, I think you have to be, if you're going about this, then you need to try stuff.
Yeah, I think you've got to be open to, and the thing is though that we've seen this on the podcast already. Like, what you like and what I like and what Miguel likes are totally different, and it's the same. It's the same thing, and I think that's the best thing about it. And this whole beer explosion with different flavours, tastes, and all that kind of stuff, I just think it's badass.
I'll ask you this question that I asked to Miguel maybe 2 or 3 podcasts ago. I think it was 3 or 4 actually. So, with the political climate that we are in the UK at the moment, I know it's not a subject I want to go into too much. Do you think that pubs are going to struggle to import beers from abroad, and will that affect their business, and is there a potential that we see kind of local pubs dying?
I think the answer to that is yes. To be honest, I think people will struggle. However, I could see that be some of the smaller pubs probably will have issues with that.
Or is it then a chance for these microbreweries in the UK to go, I'm going to get a foot in the door?
But that is exactly what I was going to say. I think it'll create opportunity for like local breweries to be like, well, actually we'll be able to supply with X, Y, and Z, and it'll maybe never meet demand like big breweries will. You know, like you get your these Coors and stuff. I was going through, which is Moors and things, isn't it now? But you know, they're always going to be able to ship and
like your Coors, your Asahis, your Kingfisher, all that kind of stuff.
Coors I don't think will be a big an issue because it's Molten or whatever Coulson their name is. That's the brewing company. They do Coors and they do Carlin and do all that kind of stuff.
But is that the ones that brew at Edinburgh?
No, they're down south now, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. Say Kingfisher, your India, you know, that kind of stuff. I think Kingfisher might be brewed back in UK, but anyway,
half of them probably. Cobra, Corona, aye.
But for me, if it's going to give other people an opportunity to, you know, well, generic pub, we'll be able to sell you, you know, 20 casks of or kegs of X beer, right? We might not be able to give it to you in a month's time when you need it, but let us know, and then, you know, and that sort of stuff. So people are going to get introduced to. I think
if I recall correctly, our local pub, I say local, you live in a place now, but
it is the local pub.
It's still a local one that we very regularly visited in time we grew up in
Corrie Bar.
At Corrie Bar, I believe, if I remember correctly, I think Big Scott has put some like IPA or something on as well on the tap.
No, isn't this? It's the last time I was in, to be fair.
I'm sure he had something. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, it was just a question that popped in my head. Like you were talking about flavour. I've made up this silly little thing. Is this the beer life, or is this just fantasy? Anyway, so it's just basically
Roaster.
obviously talking about beer flavours, beer recipes and stuff. I want you to see if you can pick out the bogies. What one is beer fantasy, or what one is beer life or real life?
Got you.
By the way, have you watched Bohemian Rhapsody?
I haven't, no.
Mate, fuck me, it's brilliant.
I've heard good things about it.
I liked Queen before. Like, I obviously knew of their work, clearly. And
Yeah.
not that you can't not know of their work. And I since I watched it, I'm like, fucking Queen are amazing. Anyway, so is this beer life or is this just fantasy? Marcus Hobbs, I've got 5
Sure.
beers here. So is it beer life or is it just fantasy? Avocado honey ale. Beer life or beer fantasy?
Avocado in a beer. Honey, I can understand. Avocado. I'm going to go with fantasy.
It's beer life.
Wow.
Beer life. Island Brewery avocado honey ale is beer life.
Avocado.
I'm all
writing
of a
this down.
sudden, honestly, I'm loving this segment. I don't know where I come with it, but it's fucking
Island Brewery.
Island Brewery.
Oh, avocado and honey.
Yes.
Lovely.
Okay. Beer life or beer fantasy? Banana split chocolate stout.
Oh, so you get a chocolate stout easy, but do you get somebody surely have came up with a banana split number? Surely.
Beer life or beer fantasy?
I'm gonna go with fantasy.
Oh, you're shite at this. Beer life, Thomas Creek Brewery, banana split chocolate stout is real or is
Why did
beer
I-
life?
That was my initial thought, and I was like, playing the man, thinking there's no way Gav's done 2 in a row.
No way he's done 2 in a row. Maybe he's done 5 in a row. Maybe you never know. Next up, beer life or beer fantasy? Hobnob Pale Ale.
Oh, I hope that is true.
Are you going with beer life or beer fantasy?
There's no way Hobnob have got a
Hob-
beer.
Hopnob.
Oh, Hopnob. Oh, I thought you said Hobnob.
No,
I was
it's
thinking,
based on Hobnob, but Hopnob.
nah, I'm gonna.
It's a play with words. A play with words, Marcus Hobbs. Come
I
on.
know. I got excited for Hobnob IPA there. Nah, no Hobnob.
Just fantasy is
It
correct.
was just fantasy.
It is just a fantasy.
If you honestly, if you had stuck with Hobnob, I might have been like, I could have got on board with it, but
Hopnob is not real. Okay, next one. Pashwani IPA.
Pashwani.
Pashwani IPA. I think it's a play on Nan. I think it's like a silent N. Pashwani. It's 2 A's. IPA with an N at the end.
What's that, like a wee coconut number?
Coconut number I.
I'm gonna go with Beer Life.
Oh, is this just... No, it's fantasy! Gav Flowers made it up! Yes! Winner.
That would have been a coconut beer. That sounds alright.
To be fair, there is coconut beer. I did look it up, but there's not a Pashwani IPA.
Oh, there needs to be. That's an absolute genius name.
Oh, see what I wrote it down? I was like, that's fucking genius. Anyway, moving on. Creme brulee stout.
Oh, that has to be real.
Beer life. for going with.
Good luck.
And that is correct. Southern Tier Brewery have got themselves a creme brulee stout. So I think you got 2 out of 5 there. You got creme brulee stout and you got hobnob pale ale, correct, and the rest you got rang. So you're right, basically.
I was picked. I'm going to hobnob IPA.
So that was, is this beer life or is this just fantasy? Yeah, by the way, genuinely, I am very, very chuffed for that. Like, when I sat this morning, and it popped in my head, I was like, that's fucking genius. At the moment, so I've had my Brooklyn East IPA, thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm on to the Stone Brewery Go-To IPA, like I mentioned. It's okay.
Yeah. What are you rating them? Are you still doing Untapped or?
Yeah, when my phone's got space to download the app.
Why don't you just text me and I'll just add them to the old podcast one?
Oh, fair point. I'll do that. Okay.
So it makes us look like makes me look like even more of a JK as
look like a ball. And I'm going to move on. So what? Do I go to the Flying Dog Snake Dog IPA or Stone Brewery IPA? Stone Brewery IPA is 6.9. The Snake Dog is 7.1.
Big boy.
I know what you're going to say. Don't know why I gave you the option, to be honest.
You got it stuck in.
That was a stupid question, Gavin Backstart. So, Snake Dog IPA by the Flying Dog Brewery. Incidentally, when I can't remember what I was working in a pub and I can't remember what birthday it was, and they gave me a bunch of beer, craft beer. And at this point, I wasn't into my craft beer, and there was 2 Flying Dog Brewery bottles in there, and I passed them on because I was like, nope, it's not Tennant's, it's not Foster's. I'm not having that shite. Get away from me. So, Snake Dog.
Oh, I recognise the badge and that now that I've seen it.
So far, okay. I've not decked it yet, so oh fuck. I say deck. I've just decked the other stubby. I'm not drinking that now. Doggy style pale ale. I knew it when you. That's what I got. That's what I had before. That's what I got given the doggy style IPA, which I gave somebody as a Christmas present. Passed it on. They
look like a couple of their. I'm on their website just now, and they've got some seasonal tinnies there. Irish red ale, a bleacher beer, a grapefruit radler. They've got a summer best number, which looks like a camouflage tin, like a blue, green, white camouflage number.
Can you even see it?
No, to be honest with you, I'm a bit confused a little bit. But
colourblind as well. Is it actually that colour?
It is. Nah, I'm only colourblind with the reds, browns, and greens ish when they're mixed together. Like blue and that's alright. So, like this is, it's very cool. Like it's got the look of a can that has a good can feel.
Can you see a good can feel?
Well, this looks
I know the day when I was in Asda, looking at the can, I was looking for a good can feel. I thought I found a good looking can feel. It wasn't. It was just a dent.
Well, this looks like it could be a good can feel. So I think that has to at least warrant
purchase.
Yeah, purchase, or at least a good old, hand on can.
Hand on can.
Hand on can feel.
Hand on can. Have I got anything else written down? I don't. Do you?
Just website, Facebook, really for me. Instagram, getting involved with the podcast. I know we've had a couple of conversations off the air about some stuff that we're going to hopefully get on the go. And get some moving, which I'm not going to mention on here just for time purposes, etc. But at this moment in time, get involved if you're listening, and give us a shout. Drop your questions on the Facebook and the Instagram, on the Twitter.
Definitely. If you're watching the YouTube video, everything is in the description box below. So Facebook Beer Fridge Network, Twitter Beer Fridge Pods, Instagram Beer Fridge Network as well. All the links to all the websites we've mentioned, beerfridgenetwork.com is also. beermenow.co.uk. Enter code BFN at the checkout for 50% off your first box in March. And like I said, you put in the comments what you like, what you don't like. If you're like myself, I said I don't like stouts, I don't like sours, and I didn't get sent stouts, and I didn't get sent sours. And the boys handpicked a selection of 8 beers for my enjoyment with a wee snack, which I genuinely enjoyed. The tortilla chips, tortillas.
Cheers. Yep.
The black bean ones, surprisingly very nice. I'm not going to mention what I got from Beer 52 because it was like dried naan bread.
You just mentioned it though, so that was poor on your part.
Yeah, once you start, you just can't stop. Pringles. It was like dried little square segments of naan bread.
It doesn't sound too bad, to be honest, but
It tasted like cardboard, mate. Like, if you're in a pub, obviously everything's fairly dry-ish anyway. Like, nuts are fairly dry, crisps are fairly dry, but when it's that dry, you're like, when you're just like sticking your mouth together. No.
designed to make you drink, though, isn't it?
No, they weren't. They were designed to make you fucking bulk.
Fair enough.
Genuinely horrendous. But as you said, beerfridgenetwork.com, head over there for all the latest, and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, head over there as well. Like, share and comment if you're watching on the YouTube, which we are on live streaming hopefully every week now that my internet is working and has been fixed. Well, fixed in the meantime. If you're on there, like and subscribe below, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, and you'll get all the latest crap that we put up. And I say crap because we don't really know if it's any good. Please tell if it's any good. If it's not, please tell us. There's constant polls every week on the Twitter, Beer Fridge Pod as well. Head over and place your votes on all the crap that we put up. And I'm saying crap because, if I'm being honest, it's crap in our heads.
Speak for yourself. It's nothing but high quality stuff that gets put up on my end.
High quality H2O.
True that. The other thing I wanted to mention was Beer Fridge Fitness.
Oh yes. I wasn't going to mention that because every time I mention it before, you go, "Oh, I'm not ready."
I don't know. Working on some stuff, putting like a wee workout and that plan together to shout out people, which should be good. But if you've got any questions or anything from the first 2 episodes, let us know. I'm speaking with Dan, who you've met. I've also got a couple other PTs that are lined up for the next couple as well, so it should be a bit of a laugh.
Can I forward on a something that you might know? I will forward on a question myself.
Okay.
The best way to, it sounds weird, to stretch your shin or help with shin pain, so to speak.
Okay. Are you getting shin splints?
Not so much shin splints, just
okay.
Old arsehole who doesn't stretch enough pain.
Yeah. You got a foam roller?
Yes.
Roll that thing out. Roll shins. Roll
shins.
Outside of the knee, up the IT band, and outside, top of the quads, and things like that as well. If you've got, we'll do some ankle mobilisation, stuff as well. That'll help with the shins.
Roger Dodger. I should be on it. And this is it. I'll tell you this. I have found, I'm not just saying this, I have found the Beer Fridge Fitness podcast tremendously, very, very good. And my partner has found it very good as well.
Yeah.
And we have taken everything that Dan has said with regards to not going head first into it and just doing little bits, and little bits are better than nothing. So at the moment, at least 3 times a week, we've got a little walkway thing, cycle path nearby that we do a little jog. It's only at most maybe it's not even 2k at best there and back.
Okay.
And we'll do a couple of suicides, etc., and some dips. There's a little bit place we can do dips and stuff. So we did a bit this evening, to be honest, and I'm glad this isn't smell-o-vision, or because I reek.
I was actually covering Dan's lazy ass at the gym tonight, so doing some stuff for him. But that for me, that's exactly the whole point of the fitness part of this podcast. It's to help kind of stimulate, get people thinking about it. We're not saying you need to turn into Arnold Schwarzenegger and you know 3 times a day and all this kind of stuff. It's slow, steady. If you've got a goal in mind, write it down, be true to it, and kind of stick to what routine works best. So if it's 3 times a week, which is good. So if it's once a week to begin with, if it's once a day, whatever. But it's been really interesting. We've had some really good comments, and hopefully it's, as you can imagine, PTs and trainers, etc., are not the easiest to pin down sometimes. So
no, very true. It'll be interesting to hear or even see some handy little tricks that Dan can give us, whether it be little wee exercises if we're not if we're not in the gym, because my partner does go to a gym, but she's finding that us doing these runs and stuff and doing little things outside is more beneficial than being sitting in the gym. I hate the gym personally, can't fucking stand it, because all the arseholes and all the fucking steroid fucking little dicks who all just stare at you. I can't be arsed for all that crap. I just want to throw a weight at their head. It won't be a heavy weight, it'll be a very light 3 kilogram weight, but
it's funny you mention all that, because that's one we spoke about in the last podcast about the fear of the gym, and obviously it's not the fear of some people's fear. It is that, but it is going in and feeling that everybody's got their eyes on you.
Literally, it's the only place in the world. Like, I'm not very self-conscious at all. I couldn't give a flying fuck about anything in the world, and don't care what people think about me. But in a gym, it's the one place in the world where I'm like, everybody's staring at me, and I'm like, I can't deal with that shit. I'm out. See if a gym's empty. My previous job, I got put up in a hotel, I had a wee gym, nobody was there, and I was absolutely fine. If anybody else in there, I was like, nah, I'll just see how we walk in the treadmill and see you later.
Fair enough. Well, the exercise thing is on the production line, put it that way. So just at home, in-house, limited space, limited equipment, even try and do stuff with random bits of kit that you could probably find in and around your house too. That's all what we're looking at. So fingers crossed we'll get something, and I'm hoping to do like what we're doing just now, like live streaming something from the gym as well. So again, loads of cool little things. So.
Thoroughly looking forward to the next instalment of the Beer Fridge Fitness. Again, it's a part of the Beer Fridge network, as well as the Beer Fridge podcast. And like we said, beerfridgenetwork.com. Head over there for everything Beer Fridge Fitness, Beer Fridge podcast, Beer Fridge network, and everything we have under the umbrella of Beer Fridge network, whether it be the sports podcast or the Beer Nomicon, etc. Or also MLS Aces, the soccer podcast as well. And head over to last time I'll say this, beermenow.co.uk, the ultimate beer subscription service. Select from a monthly, bi-monthly or a quarterly subscription. Enter code BFN at the checkout and receive 50% off, £12.50 for your first box. And if you want to cancel after it, you can cancel it after it. It doesn't matter. Ideally, for us, and to us to look good, keep it. And I'm keeping mine. But anyway,
sure.
Unless you've got anything to add, big man.
Not anymore. Nope.
Not anymore. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Beerfish Podcast, Beerfish Network, and if you're on the YouTube, subscribe. Hit the fucking notification button below, And until next time, it's been a joy, and we'll see you next time. See you, bye.
See ya.